Aloha, this is Timothy. I'm an affordable housing developer in Hawaii. My first project is called Kapiolani Residence. It's 45 stories high with 485 units, including the manager's unit. Out of 484 sellable units, 60% was dedicated to affordable housing, which was 292 units. Our median income bracket was 120% AMI range and below. And we made it possible for people who make below 100% AMI to be able to apply and buy the unit. And as a result, majority of the affordable housing was dedicated to people with 80% and below market. My second project is on its way. It's called the Central Ala Moana. We'll be completing it by end of next year. And we're on the 31st floor as what I spec right now. And this project also has 60% affordable. For out of 512 units, 310 units are offered in area median income between 80% minimum to 140% maximum. And it was sold out in a couple of months as well. And instead of 45 stories, we decided to give ceiling heights about 5.5 inches higher for all the floors. So we ended up having 43 stories. So it's much higher and better unit compared to the first project. And we're trying to continue to improve the quality of the projects. The public response was amazing. We have offered 600 units total for 2 projects. And for 600 units, we had about over 10,000 people showed up on our seminars for both projects, having inquiries and questions about how they can apply and how they can be part of these 2 projects that we're doing. It was quite shocking to see 10,000 people showing up for just 600 units of affordable components. And I was able to stay back and participate in all those sessions of the seminar, and being able to shake their hands and listen to their comments. And I just wanted to communicate with them to see what is the need in this market. And it was just a tremendous comments that I got from most of those 10,000 people whom I met. And that's when I decided to continue on this market, because people need their homes. A place like in Hawaii, especially when everything is expensive, and their dream is to have their own home, mostly first-time home buyers. When I decided to go into this affordable housing market, I have visited most of the affordable housing projects in Hawaii previously built. And they've done their best, I believe, but I just didn't wanted to do the same thing. I wasn't really satisfied with the quality of those affordable housing units that I've visited. Because as a developer, my philosophy is to build as if we're building our own home. And I wouldn't put my family into those affordable housing that I visited. It was too small, the quality was not really there. And even though they're spending thousands of dollars into it. So I've decided to go with a better quality and lowering the price. And by doing that, I was able to change the paradigm of affordable housing in Hawaii. And in order to do that, I had to travel all over the world to find a good quality product with a good price. I ended up bringing in Samsung appliances and Samsung air conditioning unit, and also the number 1 cabinetry company in Korea called Hansen. They agreed to bring their good product with a reasonable price for my project. And those were just the 2 key elements. And I have traveled to Spain to bring in a good countertop. I've asked the best product to put into my unit, because again, I'm trying to build this project as if I'm doing my own home. And I think that was key to success. And everybody in our team applied the same concept to build their own home with their own hands. And I think the quality came out the best because the people tried their best. Initially, when I first started these two projects, a lot of developers were skeptical that because it wasn't just feasible according to them. But I told them that by lowering the expectation of the revenue, I was able to make that profit because we're sold out on those two projects. And I believe that even if we lower the expectation of the revenue, if we continue to build more with sold out status, it adds up and eventually the profit will be there. And I brought in local banks to have a construction funding, which was 65% of the development cost. And also I was able to use the non-refundable deposit from both affordable and market buyers. And also I brought in the government loan to enhance more affordable housing. And all the government, I believe they have set aside funding to support good affordable housing like ours. And I was able to utilize those. And rest of it came from our equity, our asset. So eventually in the end, as long as we do the sold out project, I think it pencils out. And yes, we make the profit. And there's a way and various resources where I can use from the government or private sector and whatnot. So I encourage other developers to do what I did to make the profit and move on as we do the more affordable housing projects. My vision and future plan is to build more affordable housing, of course. And as I mentioned that I saw the demand, and even the Hawaii state government statistics saying that there's a need of 65,000 units by 2025. And majority of those need is affordable housing units. So there's a definitely market there. Even during this pandemic situation, we're having these people lined up on our project. Instead of having cancellation, I'm having more people inquiring to put their name on the wait list in case if there's any fall. So yes, we're having a very hard time economically as we're going through this COVID-19 pandemic. But I learned, it was surprising to learn that there are still people wanting to buy their first home with a good price and good quality like my two projects. So I would love to continue to be an affordable housing developer in Hawaii. And I was able to present my projects at the City That We Need Affordable program, coalition with United Nations, UN Habitat, and also PFC. And we were able to sponsor this event 3 years ago, and I presented my project. And we did private public partnership projects. And by simply adding people to it, there's a win-win-win situation for everybody as a government sector, private sector like us, and also the people who are buying into their homes. So yes, I will continue to walk on this path to provide more affordable housing, as I have changed the paradigm of affordable housing in Hawaii. This model not only works in Hawaii, but it works in major cities around the world. And I'm hoping and praying that I'll continue to share my success with other cities and other developers around the world so that they can provide the better quality affordable housing for the people who are in need, especially those first-time home buyers.
I lived in Chinatown last 23, 24 years. Big homeless problem, big drug problem. The neighborhood just wasn't ever safe, even when the police moved to town. And we were always trying to get out, but the cost of living was so high in Hawaii that it made that almost an impossible dream.
Tommy Nguyen's story is similar to thousands of others in Hawaii whose dream of being a homeowner was simply out of reach. Hawaii has some of the highest housing costs in the country. So when developer Sam Koo entered the affordable housing market in 2016 with Kapiolani Residence and the Central Ala Moana, the response was overwhelming.
When we had the seminar for both projects, first project for I think 290 some units, we had over 4,000 people showed up. And for the second project, for 310 affordable units, we had more than 5,000 people showed up.
I was applicant number 0001.
Linda Susan Yasunaga was one of the lucky 292 people who became the first owners of the affordable units at Kapiolani Residence.
And it's the first time I've owned a place of my own. The building is really beautiful. The quality of everything in the unit is, you could just see that they didn't cut corners. I always lived in a home and I always spent a lot of time outside. Drinking morning coffee or having a glass of wine in the evening, and now with this 9th floor I feel at home again.
I don't have to use my car to walk anywhere to get anything, but that's a curse too, because every time my wife says I need this from the store, I don't have a choice but to walk across the street now.
Location was an important factor for Sam Koo in building the 45-story Kapiolani Residence. Minutes away from the beach and bustling downtown Honolulu, its central location is unmatched in terms of convenience. But Timothy says it was also about quality and putting people's needs and desires before profit.
I believe we're different from other affordable housing projects in terms of the quality. Definitely, we brought in Samsung appliances, Samsung split system air conditioning unit into all the units. And we have the great cabinetry company from Korea, Hansem, coming in to change the paradigm of affordable housing.
A public-private partnership with the City and County of Honolulu and the state's Hawaii Housing Finance and Development Corporation allowed Kapiolani Residence to become one of the first of its kind, offering 60% of the total units in the building to qualified buyers. Kapiolani Residence was sold out at groundbreaking. Sam Koo's second affordable condominium project, the Central Ala Moana, was 95% sold within a month, with construction scheduled to begin in May 2019.
I'm proud to say this is a win-win-win situation between the government sector and private sector, and also public sector as buyers.
Timothy believes if other developers could see the life-changing impact of simply adding people into the partnership, there can be more quality affordable housing projects in the future.
I was fortunate to share the joy of most of the first-time home buyers being able to win the lottery and being able to move in actually after 2 years of their hard work in preparation to move in. And I saw their tears and I cried with them and I saw their joy, so I was rejoicing with them. And it is great sense of pride and sense of fulfillment to be able to share their feelings. So I learned my lesson as a developer to follow people, not follow money. And I think that's one of the key to success that we've achieved here in Hawaii.
And this one came along and it was very, very reasonable and kind of unbelievable at the same time. Like now we're homeowners and now we're planning for retirement. You know, now we have a future. You know, before it was just get month by month and then see what happens. You know, but now everything's changed.
Well, life certainly now is a lot simpler, safer, and now I don't have to worry about where I'm going to live the next 30 years.